Adam, it's Arya. I just heard what happened. God, right outside your apartment?
What happened outside my apartment?
Someone got all their implants torn out. Was left to bleed to death in the alley. When I first heard where it was, I thought...
I'm fine, Arya. It wasn't me.
Be careful going home. It's not the first one of these I've heard about.
That's interesting. Too close to home. Arya Argentos said something about a murder taking place in the alley outside my home. It's right over here. I will pay that a visit. I was about to talk about, hey, Koller, nice to see you. Kind of weird how you, like, I did a thing for you at the beginning of the game and it just kind of never came up again, but looks like we're getting sidetracked again. Let's go ahead and look at... Huh. It's like, this is my place, right? No? Is that my place? That's not my place, is it? No, there's the door. Okay. Got a little turned around. What kind of mess happened here?
She's just lying there. They should at least cover her up.
So somebody got killed right outside where we live. Can I hop over? I sure can.
Just keep moving. Nothing else to say.
There we go.
Doesn't it feel like something is about to happen?
Oh wow.
Can't let them get away with this.
Not even legs. That's brutal. That's not nice at all.
If you saw something...
I recognize you. We're neighbors. I've seen you in our building. You're very difficult to miss. By chance, did someone send you to investigate?
No, no one sent me. What happened here?
It's horrible. An augmented woman was killed, just outside of where we live. She looks like she was my age.
Do you have any idea who she was?
No, I've never seen her before. It's so sad that nothing will be done about this. Aug victims are not high on the list of police priorities. To them, it's like a dog lying in the street. You're not a cop, are you?
I was a cop once. Old habits die hard.
In America?
Yeah, Detroit. It was a long time ago.
I bet you have a lot of experience. You're used to this sort of thing.
What about you? What's your interest in all this? Morbid curiosity?
God, no. I want nothing more than to go home. Detective Montague, he's making me stay. He thinks I saw something.
Did you see something?
Maybe. I think I would rather not say, to be honest. Because if I had seen something, and if I started talking about it, wouldn't that put me in danger?
You may not think much of the police here. I may not think much of them either. But that doesn't mean you should hold back information.
They don't have it in them to protect me. They have neither the will nor the courage.
Be that as it may, it's still probably your best hope for helping to catch the killer.
I know. It's just that I don't trust the police. I would feel safer with someone like you. You have more reason to be invested in this than they do. You're augmented, like the victim was. And you look like you could actually protect me.
It's not my case.
But maybe you could help. Please, neighbor. Talk to Detective Montague. At least see how it's going. Make sure he doesn't think he's on vacation just because the victim is an aug.
I'll talk to the officer in charge and see where he is with the investigation. If I can help him, I will.
Thank you. Suppose I end up remembering something later. Is there a way for me to contact you?
You planning to run off on me already?
The first chance I get. There are times for standing in the cold, but this isn't one of them. I just want to go home, bolt the door, and never come out again. Of course, I will wait for Detective Montague to say it's okay first. And I'll still try to answer whatever questions you may have.
I can give you access to my info link. You should feel free to use it if you have to.
Thank you, neighbor. Talk to you about what happened.
How come she talks to him and not to me?
Haha. Because you guys brutalize people constantly? And treat people like garbage. Carl Montague. So just so we're clear, by the way, that little non-canon thing was a one-off. We're back to being canonical episodes and stuff. That was just me wanting to, they split the mission between two different paths, and I wanted to see what the other mission was, so that was a standalone. That's over. This is all part of my normal continuity again, if that's confusing at all.
Push them into attacking.
So, Daria was actually talking to you, huh? I could barely get 2 words out of her. What did she say? Did she see anything?
You mean your witness over there? She's not sure yet.
How can she not be sure? Either she saw something or she didn't.
She's scared. She thinks she might be in danger. I told her she'll be fine and that whoever did this would be caught. I'd like to believe that's true.
Sure, so would I. But as you can see, the victim was like you, augmented. That makes things a little more complicated, eh? Being a cop in this city, it's not always about doing the right thing, or about doing things the right way.
I was a cop for 12 years. I know all about getting bad orders. The difference between what you're told to do and what you know is right.
Tell me about it. So, how did you reconcile yourself with those kinds of orders?
I quit.
I'm 2 months away from the beach. I'm not quitting. But I respect your idealism.
It was a long time ago. I work for Interpol now.
Interpol, huh? Listen, off the record, I've been told to forego any unnecessary investigation. I want you to know it's not my idea of how things should be done.
Who told you to forego the investigation?
Men who spend more time making policies than arrests. They want the victim's husband, Johnny Gunn, ex-PMC operative. Heavily augmented.
All right. So if you're not comfortable with this, if you know things aren't being handled the way they should, why not do something about it?
I thought I just did. Just because my hands are tied doesn't mean Interpol can't conduct a parallel investigation. Crime scene's right over there, and Johnny lives just a couple of blocks from here.
I never said I was going to work your case for you.
Sure you did. Isn't that more or less the promise you made your little friend over there? She won't talk to a cop because she doesn't trust us. Smart girl. Look, my orders are to arrest the husband. You take a look around. Get to Johnny before my guys do. Who knows? Maybe we'll actually learn something.
I'll let you know what I find.
Really some dark territory. It definitely helps. I can't stop saying dark territory. It's becoming a problem. But helps seal the deal on the idea that my character's having an influence on what happens here. Because if I wasn't here, it was just gonna get concluded. They were just gonna wrap it up and just move on with their lives. But I can change the outcome of this investigation and hopefully change it towards what the actual thing that's just. And I'm obviously going to be very curious about this vent up here. Is there anything to investigate down there? Should I be investigating stuff down here? Hello? EMP fragment. Fragment found near Angela Gunn's body. Looks like it came from an EMP. Used primarily to disable electronics or people who rely on augmentations. Murder victim's press ID card. Angela Gunn was a reporter. Looks like part of a pair of glasses. This is a straight-up investigation.
I think he found something.
These assholes try anything.
This is kind of neat because we've never really had a chance to do a proper crime scene investigation at any point in these games. Not like this, quite, at least. There was a piece of broken needle stuck out in Angela's right shoulder. So I'm basically the first person doing actual investigation here. They're pretty much just going after whoever they can. Oh yeah, look at that. It's hollow. Cause that's the needle. Wasn't sure what they meant by needle at first until I realized this. They literally mean syringe specifically. Cutting marks above Angela Gunn's arms. Looks like she had an augment that was forcibly removed. That's very polite. That's a very polite way to say torn off. Bruises on her neck are recent. Looks like the killer strangled her and even left a partial fingerprint. What? Really? You can leave a fingerprint and bruises? I didn't know bruises had that level of specificity to them. I thought bruises were so... I thought they were splotchier than that, frankly. That's 6 out of 7. Oh, there you go. A ripped out augmentation. Whoever did this didn't seem too keen to keep it for themselves. They just wanted to separate it from the body. Are those eyeballs? Her eyes were in their body still, weren't they? They must be something else.
They love to tear us apart.
How'd they end up in the walls? Yeah, she still has her eyes. There's something else. Who knows what kind of augments go into a human body? Like what they all look like piece by piece is something that I wouldn't necessarily know a lot about.
Could be a problem.
The game is now going to slowly dole out all the things I just found in a series of extended notifications. Here we go. What's back here? And is it noteworthy or is it just kind of here? Don't know if any of this will be significant or just sort of a side area. Thank you. Alrighty. More scrap for the pile. I can make so much stuff with all the scrap I found by now, I'm sure. This is irresponsible and someone's gonna get mad at me. Or not. Hey look, it's the Zelen Apartments. You can just hop on out. I don't think this is in any way related to the investigation. It's just a place where I can be a vandal and another bastard like usual. Yay! Hup. What are you mad about? What? 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 What are you doing? What are you aiming at right now? What the fuck? Oh, they're freaking out about the punched wall. This is weird. They shot me already, but I'm still standing here and they stopped shooting me. Can you guys not see me right now? Why'd you guys shoot me but then also stop shooting me? What the hell? Well, I guess I'm gonna load some sort of autosave. Let's see. That's a couple minutes ago. That should undo the, this one specifically should undo the hostile without making me lose all the progress. That was some weird AI moment. I hopped out of a window, so they started shooting me, but then they stopped shooting me and started shooting the window. Like they couldn't...
You want me to keep giving you updates every few minutes?
It's like they didn't even know what they were going for anymore. Weird. Weird moment. Anyway, I got the, all the stuff. If I want a multi-tool back, I'll go back to that vent later and go grab it again. Let's, for you guys' sake, let's just move on. Since I at least kept the progress that happened before then. Oh, are we traveling? Nope. There's Koller over there. They're gonna send me to the Libius apartments. Well, I don't really want to leave and come back, so how about before I do that, let's go visit Koller. I don't even know if this will be a real quest or anything, or if it'll just be like, hey, finished up that thing for you, and then you just do a cutscene and talk to him for a bit, so might as well take care of that rather than make multiple return trips and stuff. Where am I? Right here. Alright. Hello, the time machine. This has been interesting. When you first encounter Koller, is that parts? Yep. When I first encountered Koller, he seemed like such a cool character and he had such a cool location that he was stashed away in and everything that like I just kind of assumed he was going to be a major player that keeps showing up throughout the game. So he's one of those people that I'm most sort of off-put and surprised by the way that the game just kind of seems to forget about him for the rest of the game. And now I think we're coming up on the end of the game practically. Like, I think I'm coming up on like the final stretch of like linear missions that you take at the end, as opposed to any more side content. I think these two quests actually are basically it before a lot of that stuff happens. So it's odd to me that he never really showed up again. He just didn't turn out to be as important as I really thought he was going to be. Oh wow, it's a motion tracker. It disappears when it closes again when you walk away a little bit. But yeah, it seemed like a weird use of character. In general, it feels like most of the characters in this game aren't in it enough, which is a weird thing to say. I understand that it's not a Mass Effect game. You don't have a party of characters following you around all the time. I understand that much. But I am used to having, in any RPG really, just characters that show up on a regular basis and they keep influencing the story. The most common character is probably our friend that's a member of the Resistance. Whoa, that was weird. But even that specific character is oddly prone to not showing up for many hours at a time. So it's been an odd structure. This is such a cool room with all the arms and legs just hanging from the ceiling everywhere. All right, where you at, Koller? What is this open too? Wow. This stuff's extensive. Is that a body? Oh, right. Sorry. Also, what? Body? Have I been here before? But yeah, I just realized I'm... It's Camille Horak. I think I may have encountered this body before. Sorry, I forgot I was tracking the crime mission and not Koller's mission. So that's it's walking me through the exit instead. Koller, where you at? Oh, there you are.
Shit. Did you hear? Talos Rucker's dead.
I heard that somewhere, yeah.
Yeah. Pretty cool, right? Now we can get some real progress. He was making us look like wimps.
That's a little harsh, isn't it? Rucker didn't deserve what happened to him.
Something tells me our politics aren't the same, Jensen. Me, I think this whole martyr thing is exactly what we need. But, let's maybe focus on things we can agree on, huh? Like optimizing that crazy rig of yours. You got a calibrator for me or what?
You really think Rucker was the problem? That his death is somehow gonna make things better for Augs?
I don't think he was the solution. We need a new leader. Someone a little less beardy, McFancy diploma. Someone who's gonna fight, you know? Stand up to some of these bullshit laws. You hear about the Human Restoration Act?
Yeah. If the restoration vote passes, I don't know that it's gonna matter very much who the leader is.
It's gonna be a government-mandated horror show is what it's gonna be. Men in white coats pulling out augmentations like they are teeth. Ugh. Anyway, speaking of medical horrors, you ready for me to fix you or what?
This procedure. There won't be any surprises like last time.
Last time I was surprised by your crazy tech. But now is totally different. Now I know what's under that hood of yours. And you got me the tool I need. Changes everything.
So what are you gonna do exactly?
I'm gonna optimize your system. No more worrying about overheating. No more worrying about glitches. Jensen 2.0. Sounds pretty good, right?
Alright. Please, tell me this is what a neuroplasticity calibrator looks like.
That's the one! Okay, this won't take long, I promise. And don't worry, man, I never screw up 2 in a row. Spent a lot of time prepping for this one.
Just try not to take anything.
That wasn't so bad, right? How do you feel?
I feel fine. I feel lighter.
I fixed you. Death to all your limits. Whatever implant you want to activate, you activate. 0 consequences.
That sounds pretty good. Thanks, Koller, I appreciate it.
Yeah. Just get out there and make me proud. Go make use of all that cool shit.
There we go, huh? How's that look on my tree? Is it just all... Yep, all the things I disabled are no longer disabled, but I only really disabled 2 of them anyway. Only ever turned on Icarus Dash and Remote Hacking, which have had limited but noteworthy use so far. Might still turn on Tesla and Peps, although admittedly, as two separate ways of taking people out non-lethally, they seem slightly repetitive. Let's see. They do seem slightly repetitive to have both of them. It's like, oh, they're both range takedown. Interesting. Why did they add both those? Probably never using Typhoon. Typhoon would only really come in handy in the very specific situation where I'm taking out like a fleet of machines that are attacking me that are all like non-sentient creatures. Like when those spider tanks show up, like there was a location in Deus Ex Human Revolution there were two spider tanks walking into the same room together, but I got through it by just hacking them to shut down by finding the proper computer. But that's the one situation I would consider using Typhoon, but I don't know if I'd even bother putting points to it for that eventuality. Adam Jensen, crime scene investigator. Yeah, I've skipped to the area that the actual characters that I'm supposed to meet, because obviously there's a whole train transit moment in the middle, and man, we've been skipping most of those because those are shockingly long load times in a game that otherwise runs great. It's fine. I guess the game runs fine. Hi, you look like you might be out of sorts. Oh, it's this place that's like 75% beer. I've been here before. I've broken into this guy's house and robbed him before, I think. Hey, beer man. Your name's hilarious, by the way.
Did you bring anything to drink? You bust into a man's home, you should at least bring a drink.
Are you Johnny Gunn?
That's right. What do you want?
Have you heard about your wife?
Which one?
Excuse me?
I've been married a bunch of times. Which wife are we talking about?
Angela's dead. Sorry to be the one to tell you. They found her body in an alley.
Yeah, well, you're not the one to tell me, so I appreciate your way of trying to break it to me, though. Do you know if she died quick or not?
No, I don't.
I hope so. Angie didn't deserve to suffer.
So you did know already?
Your detective friend called, told me to sit tight and wait for you, so here I am, sitting tight, being cooperative.
You don't seem too broken up about Angela's death. She was your wife, wasn't she?
Ex-wife. We were divorced.
Is that supposed to explain why you don't care?
People die. Whether or not I care is between me and my memories of them. It's got nothing to do with you.
What went wrong with your marriage? If you got divorced, then obviously something did.
What are you, 5? Adults get sick of each other. The ones that don't are just pretending. Lock any two people in a room and they'll learn to hate each other sooner or later. It's the most natural thing in the world. I'm actually surprised Angie held out as long as she did. You know, people say I'm not very easy to like.
You don't say. So Angela left you, and you resented her for it.
Resented her? No. That's not who my resentment is directed toward right now.
You resent me? Because I'm trying to figure out who killed her?
Because you're treating me like a suspect. Because you're acting like you care more about her than I do. And mostly because you're the first human being to walk into my apartment and talk to me in almost a year. A year! And this is what we're talking about. I resent the situation.
Is that a bell tower patch on your jacket?
Yeah, so?
Let's just say I'm familiar with bell tower.
What does that mean? Familiar how?
It doesn't mean anything. It's just that I dealt with the company a while back, that's all.
Really? You know, you look familiar. We didn't work together, did we? Did you know Girardelli? Or maybe Powell?
No, I doubt I knew them personally.
That's too bad. We were all in New South Wales together. I thought maybe you... Never mind. And they're all doing fine now. Relatively.
Australia. You were there during the Civil War?
That's right. And that was only the beginning. Not my first choice, believe me, but, Bell Tower wasn't all that big on choice. Send you where they want, make you do what they want, replace parts of you whenever and however they want.
I didn't choose to be augmented either. Not when it first happened.
Apparently we're supposed to be grateful. Alloy's so much better than skin, right? At least, that's how they sold it to me.
For some things it is. Not for everything.
I can walk through fire, but sand won't stick between my toes. I can shove a knife through my hand, but I can't trust what I feel. Even my dreams are made of alloy.
Both of your hands are made of alloy?
Fingers are for human beings, Mr. Gunn. What you have is so much greater.
And then they told me what they wanted me to do, and what would happen to me if I didn't. Well, let me tell you something. That's not me anymore. Hasn't been for a very long time.
They found a partial print on Angela's neck. Belongs to whoever strangled her.
My hands were designed to kill in wars no one's ever heard of. I couldn't leave a trace on someone's skin, even if I wanted to.
They did it so you can kill better.
So I'd never get caught. Ironic, right? Being a good killer is probably what saves me here. Or, you still think I killed Angela?
I'm sorry for what Bell Tower did to you.
Don't be. They gave me tools they wanted me to have. That it was in their interest for me to have. But the decision to use them, that was all me. Now, if you don't mind, I'd very much like to be left alone.
How's that for some follow-up of a previous game? This entire apartment lives to somebody who used to actually work at Bell Tower, and you get the emotional fallout for what somebody's like when they dealt with all that. Also, I just amusingly jumped out of his window like I'm Batman. And welcome back to the crime scene. A happy place for happy people. Well, mostly dead people.
By the way, I told Daria to go home. I really don't think she saw anything.
Alright, I have some questions about the murder.
Before we go any further with this, I need you to know something about Johnny Gunn. He's not a good man. I may not like how my bosses are targeting him, but that doesn't mean he's innocent. So, you know, just make sure you're here for the right reasons.
Why else would I be here?
I don't want this to turn into some kind of crusade. Bad men do bad things. In a perfect world, we arrest them for the right reasons, but, well, the world's not always perfect.
How long have you been a cop?
Too long. And of all the ways to go out, eh?
What do you mean?
I mean being assigned a case like this. It's HQ's little joke before sending me off to retirement. Oh, but don't worry about me, eh? I'm a survivor. I can make it through this.
This case is a joke to you?
I didn't say that. I said it's a joke to HQ. They know I haven't left my desk in years. But that doesn't mean I'm not qualified. Just a little rusty.
You'll only arrest the victim's husband if the evidence tells you to, right? It's not enough that he's an AUG, and that your bosses want him to go down.
I'll hold my guys off for as long as I can. But unless you can prove someone else killed Angela, or at the very least that Johnny didn't, I don't have much choice. That's why I'm trusting you to talk to him. Give me your honest opinion on what happened here.
Yeah. Why are you trusting me exactly?
Because you gave me the impression of being qualified. Because I'm big enough to admit that maybe, I can use the help, and between you and me, because the thought of confronting a man like Johnny Gunn scares the shit out of me.
People hold a hell of a grudge against Augs, ever since the incident.
Yes, and?
Well, good thing the cops here are such professionals. Part of being a police officer is treating everyone the same, right? Aug or no Aug.
It's not that simple, and you know it. A police force isn't some abstract ideal of what justice and law should be. It's an instrument of those in power. A reflection of the society it protects.
I haven't been seeing a whole lot of protection out there.
Well, that depends who you ask.
I'm here because I don't like the idea of someone killing people right outside my window. Maybe he's out there right now, targeting that poor witness. Or maybe he's just looking for any chance to do it again.
Fair enough, Mr. Interpol.
Did the killer leave anything behind? Does anything strike you as odd?
I don't know. It's a murder, you know? Doesn't matter if you look at it sideways or upside down. It's never going to look normal.
I found a print on Angela's neck, next to the contusion marks. It's a partial, so I don't think we can match it to anything. But at least we know the killer left something, and that she was strangled.
Huh, a fingerprint. I must have missed that one. This is exactly the kind of evidence I'm talking about. No way Johnny could squirm his way out of something like that. If only we could link it to him.
I found a broken needle stuck in the victim's shoulder. The killer might have drugged Angela before killing her.
Maybe, but keep in mind she was an Aug. Don't you all have to shoot up that new pause shit? Let's go for the obvious before jumping to any wild conclusions.
I'm assuming you know her augments were harvested. The marks on her body make it seem like the killer knew exactly what he was doing, knew exactly what he wanted.
The way you said that just now.
What about it?
The way you described the Aug removal. And before, you mentioned a broken needle in the right shoulder?
That's right.
It reminds me, you know. There was this cop, Smolinski. He used to work in this neighborhood. He had this theory about a copycat. Someone acting just like a dead killer named, Svobotka.
You think there's a connection to another case?
I don't know yet. But I remember him mentioning something about needles and Aug removal. Smolinski died in the police station bombing. Whatever files he had would have been moved into temp storage across the street from the bombed-out station. Who knows? Maybe it's nothing.
Do you know if the victim had any enemies?
I know she and Johnny didn't get along. Other than that, I really couldn't tell you.
Tell me about the victim's husband, Johnny.
He used to work for a private military company, Bell Tower. He's been arrested for all sorts of things in the past. Now, don't get me wrong. I believe in evidence. But I also believe in playing the odds. 9 times out of 10, the husband did it.
Why are your superiors so eager to pin Johnny for murder? It's gotta be more than just not liking the guy.
Standard policy for guys like Johnny. The way they see it, you send a man like him into Golem City and he's liable to go off the grid, end up with Ark or God knows who. He becomes 10 times more trouble than he's worth. But if they can charge him with something big, something like murder, well, suddenly he's no trouble at all.
Were you able to get anything out of the witness? Sounded like she might have seen something.
Who? Little Miss Mousy? I was under the impression Daria was your domain. Apparently, I'm not good enough to talk to.
Anything I should know about the scene? Anything jump out at you?
The dismembered body jumps out at me. Keep in mind, I've been behind a desk for the last 12 years. It all jumps out at me.
I found what looks like a grenade fragment. EMP by the looks of it. Killer might have used this to incapacitate her.
Interesting. Johnny wouldn't need an EMP to take down his wife. Riot police use EMPs to re-establish public order around here. With all the AUG riots, anti-AUG riots, it wouldn't surprise me if that's all it was. Still, interesting.
I found this piece of glass near the body. A pair of broken glasses, maybe?
I don't know what to tell you. We're in the back alley of a major city. There's bound to be broken glass.
I found this press ID on the victim.
Okay, enlighten me. We care about this... why?
Angela Gunn was a journalist. Maybe this is work-related. Maybe she uncovered something she wasn't supposed to.
Maybe. I don't know.
I have what I need for now. I should go.
That's fine by me.
Alright, so he seems exhausted and just beaten down and tired of this entire job. But I think he's also very eager to get this he's eager to get this over with.
You looking at something?
He wants to see justice served. He doesn't want to do the wrong thing, but he also just wants it to end. But by doing so, he's ready to pin it on the wrong person, because he's clearly ready to pin it on Johnny, which is problematic because, as we found in the previous conversation, Johnny has fake hands. He doesn't have fingerprints. So a partial print on the victim's throat would not come from him because he has the wrong hands. And it's not like he's got spares, spare fingerprints he can just take on and off. So that's not a thing. And what he mentioned, though, is this concept of a dead cop, and he may have files about a copycat killer and stuff that may relate to what's going on here. So I think the best move is to not complete the quest and look into that, which I think might involve us breaking into some police storage basement. That's fine. I'll do an optional stealth quest. Let's see what we can find in there.